Join us to explore community care beyond the screen, connecting in real life.
Twice a week, go to different areas, go to Age Concern, go to different organisations, go to the local GP, go to the day centres, go to the sheltered housing, go to the day centres and see whether you're able to hire a room in the day centre, or even go to the day centre when the service users are there to introduce yourself. These are all the things that I did that worked really well for me, because back then we didn't have internet. It was all meeting people. And the last thing that I had on my mind was money. I wanted to give value. So you can also look at this as preparing families for the future care needs. Many families that don't think about care services until an emergency happens. A community, you'll be able, by building a community, you'll be able to help them with planning ahead, with checklists, and you can offer consultations as well. You can also offer some financial options before the crisis occurs. Connect with experts who can assist with this time when it comes. So connect with social workers, connect with GPs, connect with organisations, connect with hospices, get them to come and meet you and the community as a whole. So showcase that you are modern in your care solutions. So maybe you could talk about your systems that you use, for example, behind the scenes. This is what we do behind the scenes. This is what we use. So they get to know all about what you offer, rather than just going to your website and then they're choosing lots of other people. By you meeting them in the community, face to face, it's a lot stronger than just going to your website. Educate families on smart home healthcare solutions, for example. So I'm going to go into some of the ways of how you can build your community. And if you want to engage families, loved ones needing care, for example, here's a good way to start. You go to the day centres, you go to the age concern centres, anywhere where cafes, places where you can see about even the local church or the village hall, for example, and you look at hiring a room. They may give you a room for free, and then you invite your community there. Drop some leaflets off at the door. So tell them that there's going to be a community event held by your organization, and then speak with social workers, GPs, whatever. Get people to come, healthcare professionals to come to the center on the day that you're going to do your talk and introduce yourself, and to see what the need is in the community. You know, the social workers I'm referring to, healthcare professionals in that way, that can come to meet your organization, but also in the community, get the community to come and do coffees and teas and biscuits, for example. You know, there's urns, you know, they hire them, well, they usually give it to you at the centres anyway. You can also use YouTube channel and do weekly videos on care giving tips. Think about that. You can also hold live Q&A, and you can even do this via Zoom or YouTube, for example. Do a live session just like what I'm doing here. You can do a podcast and you can do a blog. share your expert insights on long-term care planning. And one of the most crucial things is a newsletter, keeping families informed on any new trends, and also when you're going to hold the next in-person event for the community. If you would like help setting up a community like this and integrating it into your care business strategy, then you can always book a free 15-minute appointment with me. We are doing our bootcamp this month, which is our AI bootcamp, the first ever of its kind for healthcare, with what automation tools that you should have in your healthcare business, for example. But what's so special about this is that we're covering AI tools, automation, we're also covering contracts, but also we're covering about how to build a community, and we're also covering about funding as well on day 5. I want you to have the most greatest success. But what I'm seeing too often is that everybody just seems to be online instead of getting out there to meet people in person. And I remember when I did something like this, I did a village hall, and guess what? It was full. It was full. There were service users, there were relatives that were there, family was there, for example, social workers were there. It was all there. GP surgery was there. Not the GP itself, but one of the staff members, for example. So we're missing this out. There's a disconnect. Everyone seems to be online instead of you're waiting in your office and you're just waiting for the phone to ring. You're waiting for things to jump out to you. I'm seeing so much of the same thing online that it's just getting so, everyone's doing the same thing. No one's doing anything different. You've got to stand out and you've got to think outside of the box, because I see that a lot of care providers are just online all the time, posting online. How is it going for you? Do you know how many people you can actually meet in person in a community? If you build that community and you're well known for that community as a care provider, who do you think they're going to go to? Are they going to go to someone on a website? Or are they going to go to the person that went and took the time out to see them in person at their community event? You should hold a community event for the community. And then you get the social workers, then you get the GP practices. See what other organizations is in the area to give you work. It is about you building a community. And I'm seeing that people are just online all the time. And they're just posting these graphics, and you're expecting to get work from that on a regular basis. Now, I'm not saying it doesn't work, because it does, but try and think outside of the box. If you held an event once a month, and you had, say, 30 people show up, for example, and you talk about the community, you do your research about the community, for example, see what the need is in that community, and talk to them. What do they feel that the need is currently at the moment? What is the different types of care that can be delivered? What levels of service can you deliver or others deliver, for example? This method is very strong. 2025, we've got to build a community. When I say we, I mean you, the care provider, needs to build a community. We've got to get back to that because we are weakening ourselves by keeping online all the time and just sitting in our office and expecting the phone to ring. You got to meet the community. They need you and they need to see who you are. Your chances will be a lot stronger for them to pick you rather than you being online and you're posting graphics, for example, or you've posted and there's probably how many other organizations that you're competing with. So by you going into your community, the location of where you can provide the service, depending whether you're home care or whether you're a recruitment care agency, you still need to meet the community. You then invite the care managers from the care home, for example, or the NHS, or the private hospitals, or the hospice, for example, and offer tea and coffee and biscuits and some cakes, for example. It's nice for people to get out, isn't it? Rather than be stuck in their office, but also for service users to connect with the healthcare professionals as well as you. They're getting to meet you. And you've got your brochure, you've got your newsletter. But don't go there to sell. You go there to serve. You serve. And they will use you when they need care or they want to change provider, for example. They will use you because you're building a care community, and each month that you do this, more will come. More will come. So 1 month you'll have 30. The following month you may have 40 or 50. Or maybe you may need to do it twice a month. But you've got to go out into your community weekly